This lesson is over parallel lines. It's on chapters 3.2 and 3.3. The vocab is corresponding angles are congruent, alternate interior angles are congruent, alternate exterior angles are congruent, and same side interior angles are supplementary. Corresponding angle postulate. If a transversal intersects two parallel lines, then corresponding angles are congruent. So, for example, if angle 1 equals 108 degrees, then we need to find the degree of the other angles. So, if angle 1 and angle 2 are side by side, that means they're a linear pair, and linear pairs add up to 180 degrees. So that makes angle 2 72 degrees. Angles 2 and 3 are vertical, and vertical angles are the same. So that means angle 3 is 72 degrees as well. Angle 4 is vertical to angle 1, so that makes angle 4 108 degrees. Angle 5 is corresponding to angle 1. Corresponding angles means that they're congruent, so that makes angle 5 108 degrees. Angles 5 and 6 are a linear pair, and like angles 1 and 2, they have to be 180 degrees. So that makes angle 6 72 degrees. Angle 7 is vertical to angle 6, so that means angle 7 is 72 degrees. Angle 8 is vertical to angle 5, so that means angle 8 is 108 degrees. So I made like a little box, so it's just easier to understand, and so you don't have to like keep looking at the lines to know what the angles equal. The next thing is alternate interior angles theorem. Therefore, if a transversal intersects two parallel lines, then alternate interior angles are congruent. Here is an example of this. So, one of the angles equals 141 degrees, and the other one is x plus 12. So we need to make sure that they're the same. So we do 141 equals x plus 12. So we have to subtract 12 from each side to get x by itself. So we get x equals 129, and we add 12 to it, and so that makes both angles 141 degrees. Next is consecutive interior angle theorem. Consecutive is the same thing as same side angles. We have 4x plus 27 and 6x plus 13. So we plug this in, so it's 4x plus 27 plus 6x plus 13, and make it equal to 180. So we combine like terms. We combine 4x and 6x to get 10x, and 27 and 13 to get 40, equals 180. So we just subtract 40 from each side to get x by itself, so that gets 10x equals 140. So we divide by 10 and we get x equals 14. Next is the alternate exterior angles theorem. Therefore, if a transversal intersects two parallel lines, then alternate exterior angles are congruent. Okay, so the bottom angle equals 120 degrees, then we know that the top angle equals 120 degrees as well. Converse of the corresponding angle postulate. If two lines cut by a transversal form corresponding angles that are congruent, then the lines are parallel. The measure of angle 2 equals 149 degrees because it's linear with angle 1. The measure of angle 3 is 149 degrees because it's vertical to angle 2, as you can tell from the angle. The measure of angle 4 is 31 because it's vertical with angle 1. The measure of angle 5 is 31 because it's corresponding with angle 1. The measure of angle 6 is 49 degrees because it is linear with angle 8, and measure of angle 7 is 49 degrees because it's also linear with number 8. The lines. The next converse is the converse of alternate interior angles theorem. For this one, I did a proof. So, what's given is that angle 5 is congruent to angle 4, and we need proof that lines J and K are parallel. So we start with that angle 5 and angle 4 are congruent, which is given. So then we can go to that angle 5 and angle 8 are congruent by vertical angles theorem, as you can tell right there. Angle 8 and angle 4 are congruent by transitive property. Then we know that J and K are parallel by the converse of the corresponding angle postulate. Therefore, if a transversal intersects two lines forming at alternate interior angles, then the two lines are parallel. Okay, now is the converse of the alternate exterior angles theorem. So, for example, we have 125 degrees and then x plus 95. So we set 125 equal to 95 plus x. So we subtract 95 from both sides and we get x equals 30. So now if we put 30 in as x, 30 plus 95 is 125. So that's the symbol for therefore. It's triangle 3 dots. So therefore, if a transversal intersects two lines forming congruent alternate exterior angles, then the two lines are parallel. Okay, the final thing is the converse of the consecutive interior angle theorem. So for example, we have x and 25. So you have 25 plus x equals 180 and x equals 15. Remember that consecutive is the same thing as same side angles. So therefore, if a transversal intersects two lines forming consecutive interior angles that are supplementary, then the two lines are parallel.